It's like rain falling down on the ocean. It's like you believing in me. I won't break down like it did before. Just call my name and I'll be there. Just call my name and I'll be there like I was before. You don't know how special you are. It's like nothing else really matters except righting this wrong. I was a fool for so long. I learned more from you than you know. So if you need to let go, just call my name and I'll be there. Just call my name and I'll be there like I was before. You don't know how special you are. Sometimes you need a friend to show you the way. Sometimes you want to run and you can't walk away. Just call my name and I'll be there. Just call my name and I'll be there. Just call my name and I'll be there. Just call my name and I'll be there like I was before. You don't know how special you are. You don't know how special you are. You are. Greetings. Welcome again. It's Thursday evening again. Can you believe it? Awesome. So this evening I'd like to talk about G7th Capos. Bring my microphone up a bit because I'm mostly talking as usual and demoing. So I want to talk about G7th Capos and what is a capo for and why do I like G7th Capos. And also they've sent me a few capos that I haven't tried before to test out. So I thought, what a better thing to do than to test them on a live stream. Actually, that's a terrible idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. Cheers. All right. Hi, Corazon. Thanks for being here. Hi, Lee. Sorry we're late. Just had a late drink at Maury's and Clayton's. Oh, yes. Hope you didn't drink too much, Lee. Olds, how you doing? A beautiful sunny evening in upstate New York. Yeah, the sun was shining here today in New York. I went for a walk. I went for a walk in New York. I went for a walk in New York. That's my new song. Rosanna's here and Lee's here. So do tell me in the chat, do you use a capo currently? And if so, what do you use and why do you use it? And my story with capos is, well, obviously I play acoustic guitar. So over the years, there's been, hey, Roeth, how you doing? Over the years, there's been many songs that I've learned to cover. I mean, tonight I'm playing mostly all originals tonight, but over the years, there's been many songs that I wanted to cover. Hi, Heather, how you doing? And those songs use capos. Of course, one of the first songs I ever learned was this one. And Heather remembers me playing that song a long time ago. Well, that's why I learned to use a capo. I first had one of those red Kaiser capos. I remember over the years people told me that the way they clamp on the guitar could damage the guitar, but I never had a problem, and I used one of those for a long, long time, and it worked very well. So that's why I got into capos, because when I learned the guitar, most songs that I was learning required a capo. If you play acoustic guitar, I'm sure you can relate to that. Now, what happened was, I remember going to university to study music, and there was a lot of electric guitar players there. And I remember a lot of those said that using a capo was cheating. Well, how do you feel about that? I totally disagree. I think what they thought was that a lot of acoustic players, rather than playing like the chord like this, the bar chord, would put a capo on there and play the open chord. Okay, sometimes we do that, and sometimes we don't need to do that. So, yeah, sometimes we don't need to do that, okay? So I don't need to put a capo on here to play an open E minor. I can just play an F sharp minor. And that's something that every acoustic player should be able to do, right? If you wanna progress in your playing. And there are times though when you have to play a capo. I mean, how could you play Here Comes the Sun without one? It would be absolutely impossible. Let me just give you an example. So Here Comes the Sun is right up here on the 7th fret. And like a lot of songs, it relies on that open chord. And the reason is that all the strings are ringing out, right? Okay, you could never do that without a capo. You just couldn't do it. Now, you could make that shape up there. And this is what many electric players will say. Well, you can use your finger here and you can play that. If you're at home, try this on your guitar. You can make a D shape like this. Okay, you can do it. Or you can do a partial bar like this. You can do that. But you could never, unless you were incredibly, I can't think of the word, dexterous, you could never play that riff. And if you could play it, the strings wouldn't ring out the right way. So a capo, in my opinion, is incredibly important, both for acoustic players and electric players. But I will say that especially for acoustic players. And I think if you're an acoustic musician here, you probably agree with me, right? So that's my story over the years. I'll never forget electric guitarists telling me that capo is cheating. That is not the case at all, okay? Sometimes it might be. Sometimes you might use it to play a riff just to hold down some strings because you don't want to play it without. But oftentimes, the capo allows you to let strings ring out in a way that's very musical and engaging, and it's very important to that song and that composition. Why else do we use a capo? Just in case you're watching and you're new to guitar, it's a great way to change keys. On a piano, we have a transpose button. Remember when you were a kid and you played those keyboards and they said transpose? And you'd be playing in C and you'd hit the transpose twice up and it would put it up to D. Well, this is basically the same thing. If you're playing a C chord and you want to play the song in D, let's say that song is too low for you because it's like a Johnny Cash song. Instead of transposing it and playing the new chords, you can just stick a capo on the 2nd fret or 3rd fret or 4th fret, play the same thing. And so it's great for a singer. Of course, what you can't do, which you can do on a keyboard, is to go lower. On a piano keyboard, you can transpose down as well as up. And you can only do that on a line 6 Variax, unfortunately. But you can go up, okay? And that I find that very useful for certain songs, especially songs like Johnny Cash, where his voice is so low, I just need to bring it up 1 or 2. I just throw a capo on there. And you can still use the same shapes that you would normally use. You haven't got to learn new shapes. Of course, it's also good to be able to play them without the capo, because there will be a gig where you show up and you've forgotten your capo. It's happened to me many times. In fact, what I do now is I leave a capo in my gig bag at all times and carry one with me as well. So I always have a spare. There was one night I didn't, or a few nights I didn't have a spare. And it's, well, you either don't play those songs or you do what I said, you have to transpose it in your head. So rather than do what I just did there, you'd have to think, okay, I'm in C originally, I want to be in D, so my first chord's a D. And then the next chord is D minor, so it's going to be E minor. Again, a great skill to have, but if I hadn't forgot the capo, I wouldn't need to worry about it. Hi, Pooh. So just in case you're new to guitar, that's a quick introduction to why I think the capo is important. Now, there's many different brands of capos. I know we've got a lot of Colorado capo fans here. I'll be covering them on a future episode. I'm going to focus on G7th today, but some of the capos I have to show off are kind of similar in that design, and also some different designs as well. Under that idea of cheating, then alternate tunings will also be cheating. Yeah, hey, I didn't say I agree with it, Pooh Ninja. I don't agree with it at all. It's just something that a lot of electric guitar players will say, that capos are cheating. And to be fair, you don't often see electric guitar players with a capo on their guitar, do you? Now I think about it. Olds uses a Diodario Pro Plus, simple to put on, dependable, and fits my Martins and classical guitar necks. All the things we're going to talk about tonight, Olds. Thank you, Pooh Ninja. I have to hydrate because I'm doing a lot of talking. Now, along those lines, these are the things to look out for. How heavy is it? How expensive is the capo? Does it fit on your guitar? If you want to check out the videos I did with G7th, we did 2 of them. Actually, for the Martin fans out there, one of them features many vintage Martin guitars. Check those out at a later time. We do cover a lot of this stuff. I'm just going to give you my honest opinion tonight. Now, I've got Waterley and I've got Herbal Tea. That rhymes. So, this is the first G7th I had. I'm trying to think how I heard about G7th. I think they released these a while ago. They looked cool. Everyone was using them. So I got one. I liked it and I used it for a long time. And then when I started going to these NAMM trade shows, the music trade shows, I met them and they were nice people. And they gave me another one as a spare. And I've used them ever since. I mean, they're very well made. They look very cool. And I love these Thursday nights because I can give you my honest experience. I've used one of these for years. I've dropped it. I've thrown it around. And it's never broken on me. I've had capos break when they hit the floor. These have never broken. I think I've lost one of them in the whole time. Never lose your capos. I think I've left one in a bar. I can't remember if I got it back or not. This isn't the original one. The first one I had was the Performance 2. And this is the Performance 3. So what's the difference? Well, this is a little bit bigger, and this has the ART, Adaptive Radius Technology. So what they're saying is, and this is really important, if you have a standard Martin like this, HTC 28, you probably won't have a problem. But on some guitars, the radius of the neck means that some capos will have buzzing or will not work correctly. There's another capo company that I won't mention that actually give you different attachments to add for your guitar. I think that's kind of annoying because you're going to have to change it every time you change guitars, potentially. With this one, they're saying one fits all. Now, I'll tell you right away, this isn't perfect, but this is my favorite overall capo, simply because when you're on stage, all you do is unclip it and squeeze it together. It's very, very fast to put it on. So check this out. I just squeeze it open, put it over the neck, and it's rubber in there so it won't damage the guitar. I've never damaged a guitar with one of these. And clip it on nice and firm right where the string meets the fret. Clamp it fairly tight. Okay? That is why this is my favorite capo. That was so fast. When you're on stage, I don't want to be screwing things and put... you know what I mean? I want to just clip it on and go. Now, there are a few caveats to that, which I'll show you now, but I will also put this caveat out there. Caveat. I've used this particular capo for years and never had a problem with it. I'm just being very overly analytical tonight to give you the full facts and information. but this is the one I've always used. I've got a link below to my affiliate on Sweetwater. This is the one. If you're unsure, I would get one of these because it's fat. If you perform on stage, this is what I recommend because it's so fast to throw on. You can also do it with one hand. I feel like a real salesman tonight. You can just clip it on the headstock. Someone was saying last time you can't, but yes, you can. Look, I don't like doing that because I think it looks ugly and I feel like it's adding mass to the guitar. It could affect the tone of your guitar if you're really finicky, but you can do it if you want to. And again, look, one hand, unclip, one hand, over the top. It won't damage anything because it's all rubber in there. And then simply squeeze it on with one hand. That is really, really useful. That is why this is my go-to for a gig. So let's check out the tuning and the strings now. This is how I test it. I'll mute the guitar and play each string separately. Listen very carefully. Any choking? No choking, right? And then is it in tune? Actually, it is in tune. That's impressive. If you're recording, always tune after you put the capo on because any capo will add tension to the strings. It'll squeeze them. And if you do it slightly too much, it'll go slightly out. And if you're slightly out and you record, that's never a good thing. So if you can, always check your tuning when you put a capo on, especially for recording. Maybe not on stage, but especially for recording. But there we go. I put it on with one hand. My tuning didn't go out. It's, this is a bit heavier than the 2 was, but they don't make that anymore. This is the current one, the 3. I don't have a problem with the weight. I'd like to see them make it lighter in the future, but it's absolutely fine. And it's substantial. I don't feel, I feel like it's going to last me a long, long, long time. And they also have a limited lifetime warranty as well. Let me just check I'm saying the right thing. I'm sure they do, but I don't see it on the package there. Oh, here we go. Free lifetime warranty. So there you go. So this, if you're only tuning in for a few minutes, I hope you can stay longer, but this is the one. I shouldn't have started with my favorite one. This is the one that started it all for me. This is a great, great capo. And even if you've got a Colorado, like I do, I can't see it, but it's on the desk there somewhere, buried under lots of things. I can see it at the back. If you've got a Colorado, you can still get one of these. Like I said, it's good to have a spare, and some capos are good for different things. Oh, one more thing before I move on. This capo is also excellent for doing partial capoing. Now, you can buy a partial capo, but with this one, you can actually put it on all the strings apart from the low E. And then when you play an open D chord on that position, it's one of my favorite things to do. It's the equivalent of tuning down the low E string to a low D, but you haven't got to do it. So you can play Norwegian Wood with that low E without tuning down. So all those things combined is why I love this one. You can't do all those things with all capos. Oh, just one thing I have noticed with this one, because you squeeze it on and there's no way to tighten it, sometimes on the first position of some guitars, because it takes so much pressure to play those strings down here, as you'll know if you're learning guitar, even if you do that real tight, this is what happens. Look. Actually, it's okay, but there's a slight buzz there. Now, it doesn't bother me because I never play really on the first position. And if I do, if you're playing a chord like this, if you're fretting a note there, it's not going to be a problem. But for some guitars and some playing, they have another capo I'm going to show you next, which is what I've been using lately for recording with, because it can be tightened and it will alleviate any of that happening. But because it's got to be tightened, it's also takes longer to put on, which is why I wouldn't use it live. I'd use that for recording and this for live. Okay, that's no slight against this capo or the design. It's just the way it is, and it's not on all guitars, but it's something to be aware of. You can't kind of tighten it even more. Also, if you bend strings, you'll find sometimes the string won't come all the way back down again. So if you do a lot of bending, actually, if you're an electric guitarist and do a lot of bending and put it on the first fret a lot, my next capo might be a better choice for you. If you don't bend and you don't really play, if you have low action and don't really use the first fret capo very often, and you perform, then this is the one that I suggest. Okay. So I played the song with this one that was on the 3rd fret. That was my song Special. And I'll play another song now with my next capo. For some reason, all my songs with capos are sad ballads. I think there's something about the capo and sad ballads. So this is the one I was talking about. I really like this. This capo is the Newport, and it's thinner, it's lighter, it's got an adjustable screw, and for that reason, it's also narrower here on the front, so there's less to get in the way of your finger. And that adjustment on the back means that I can make it a bit tighter than the previous one, the Performance 3, so it's going to be better for those things I just mentioned. The downside is I have to loosen it, and it takes 2 hands to install it. But let me try that on the 1st fret again. If you see my live streams on Sundays, this is one I've been using a lot for this reason. So if I do that again, it's always that D for me. Hear that? So now I don't want to over tighten it. I don't want to risk putting a dent on the back of the neck. I've never done it, but I don't want to risk it. But I want to do it enough. You see, now it's put that little bit of extra tension. And what's funny is I don't think this one has the ART. I might be wrong, but simply the fact that I can add that extra tension is a good thing. Now, it may have made it go out of tune. Actually, it hasn't. So that's why this is my go-to. The only thing is I can't throw it on there like I can with the other one, and that's why if I was doing a gig, well, I don't know. I might still lean towards this one for the very reason I just showed you, but the other one is so convenient. I'm really torn. I use them both equally. I would certainly record with this. I would certainly gig with that. For a gig now, I don't know. I'd probably grab either of them. I'm kind of leaning towards this one, even though it's harder to install. The fact that it gives me that cleaner sound is kind of swaying me lately. So I'll just play a little bit of this ballad. And it's on that 1st fret, so you can hear it. You see, it's perfectly clean now. Loving you is easy. It was always so easy. In my head, you played your part so well. You could win an Oscar for your life. But in this battle called love, there's always a winner and a loser. I just want you to stop pretending, 'cause I don't know myself and I don't know you at all. Lie to me, make me believe. Oh, lie to me, make me believe. So, That was great. That was clean. That would have. Maybe I just want to prove to you. I don't want you to think that I don't like the other capo, because I do. I'm being very fussy. And what you learn about most gear is that nothing is perfect. But let me just show you this one, just to show I can still do the song. Lie to me, make me believe. It's still fine, right? It's only if I play extra hard, and it's only if I bend the string. Try it with your capo. Can you, if you bend the string pretty far, sometimes you see that it remains where you bent it up. It doesn't come back down again. That's another reason why that other capo is good, especially good for electric guitar. Also, the fact that it looks smaller is nicer on an electric guitar, I think. But yeah, this one, there's no problem. I'm just being extra fussy. I think if you're playing like a Stratocaster, this would look better on the neck of the small guitar. It would look better than that bigger one. Let me just read the chat and I'll go on to my next two. I've got two here that I haven't tried yet, so I'll give you my thoughts. But they're the two that I really like. Okay, I think the Colorado has the edge, but it's a little more fiddle than the others. Yes, Lee. So I like the comfort of the Colorado capo because it's got that beveled edge, but I find the way it has to kind of go on like that U shape, I kind of worry that I might hit the guitar with it, although I never have. But yes, if you find that capos get in your way, that's a good way to go for sure. But I've got some more here to show you, which you might like. Let me get to them. So Eric said, what do you use daily? Well, I just, that's the thing. I've used this for years. You cannot go wrong with the Performance 3. I've used it for years. It's never let me down. It's got, you know, people say, oh, they're not cheap. Well, they're not, but they've got that warranty with them. And they say, well, I might lose it. Well, okay, here's the answer. Ready? Don't lose it. Don't get the black one. Don't drop it on a black stage. Get a red one or a gold one or a silver one. And when you leave the gig, make sure you've got it. Always keep it with you. I have been known to get home and it falls out of my jeans pocket when I sit down. It's been a while since I played a gig out or wore jeans. Hopefully that will happen soon. But I've only lost one time in like 10 years, I think, or longer. But like I said, I recently got this a few months ago, and this has become my kind of go-to. It's slightly harder to put on, but it looks thinner. It's a little bit lighter, and it allows me to overly tighten a little bit to remove any buzz, and also it's better for bending strings. So really, they're equal to me. It depends how you play. Personally, I'd get both of them, and then one would be my spare. One would be for a performance, the Performance 3. That makes sense, right? And then this one would be for recording, because it does have that little bit of extra tension if required to remove all buzzing. So actually, yeah, I'm not trying to be a salesperson. I honestly would get these two. I would get the Newport and the Performance 3, and I'd be done. Absolutely done. And remember, sometimes some songs, I don't do them, but some songs you use two capos. All right, let's go on to the next one. I'm trying to keep these streams not too long. So I just got two more for you. Now, this one is interesting. They released this at NAMM a couple of years ago, and I didn't get one. This is the most affordable. So if you're saying to me, well, I just, I'm new to guitar. I do not want to spend that kind of money on a capo. I'm not telling you the prices in case they change, but go on Sweetwater with my link below, and you can see the prices. I'll put a link to Thomann there as well. They're affiliate links. This is very affordable. This is plastic. Now, okay, this is plastic. This is cheaper, and it's not the same substantial quality as the others I've shown you. But what does it mean that it's plastic? It means that it's really light, and some people don't want to feel any weight on their guitar. They want the guitar to be as natural as possible. So I can see some people liking this. Now, this installs in a similar way to the capo you guys were just talking about. You unclip it, and it goes underneath. You push it in here, and you just tighten it. So this one can be tightened, which is good as well. Obviously, you need two hands to install it. I like it. The quality seems good, as long as it's not going to break. I haven't road tested this. I just got it a few days ago. I haven't really been using it, to be honest. I'm going to test it right now. I'm not going to try to break it. I'm sure this is as good quality as the other ones are, but it's plastic and not metal. Like I said, the great thing with this is it's affordable. You could buy one as a spare, just leave it in a gig bag at all times. And the fact that it's light may be appealing to you. If you've got a light guitar, what if you've got a CEO 7 or CEO 9? If you're one of those lucky guys with a CEO 9, Lee, a very lightweight guitar because it's mahogany and small, this could be a good option. You're not going to feel any weight on the neck. So this could be good. So let me put it on and try it. We'll do the same test. I'll put it on the first fret because that seems to be the real test for me. So like that, it just goes under. It clips in. It's actually very easy to install, and you just turn the gizmo here to tighten it. Now let's see. Always do this. Always play the open strings. And always play that D. That D is what causes me problems. So there you go. It's not tight enough, so I'll do it tighter. That's good. Now, this is the first time I've used it, so you have to get used to how much you tighten it. Yeah, it's good. And it's very low profile. It's very low weight. Look how narrow that is. So, yeah, let's try it. Excellent. So in a way, it's better than the Performance because you couldn't do that as clean as that on the Performance. And it's so light and so thin and very, very, very affordable. But once again, you can't install it with one hand, and some people want to be able to install these things with one hand. You know what? I really like this. I hadn't tried it until today. Now, I know what I won't like about it. I'll have to loosen it from the front with this hand and then pull it down here. It's not too bad, actually. And then that's one thing about the Colorado I'm not a fan of. The way you have to kind of do that underneath to get it under there and then line it up. I just find it takes me a bit longer. But having said that, very cool, very light, very affordable. So if you don't want to go out and get the top of the range G7th, and they have even more expensive capos than these ones here. These are kind of the mid-price ones. So this one is really affordable. Maybe if you're new to guitar and you're just getting started, or someone you got a friend or a family member who's learning guitar, this would be a good place to start. Get one of these. They can get used to using a capo. And then if they purchase one of the metal ones later on, this could be their spare. So I do like this. This one is called the Ultralight guitar capo. It still has that lifetime warranty. So if that plastic did wear through over time, it's got the warranty with it. So yeah, really impressive. When they told me at the NAMM show they were releasing this, I just didn't even want to try it at the time. I just assumed that it would be, just a budget option. But actually, I think some people would really like this one for the reason I said, the fact that it's so light. I think that's a good way to go. It really is very, very light. Okay. Lee said, does it make the sound hole smell better? Lee, what are you talking about? What do? You don't smell a sound hole, do you? Why would you do that? All right, one more capo to show you. Now, after I had G7th on my show for an interview last year, they sent me this one to try out, and I haven't tried it yet. So this will be a live unboxing and a live demo. But this is actually like the one I started with as a kid. Remember I told you I had the Kaiser? This is like the Kaiser. This, you might have seen these kind of clampy capo. I call them the clampy capo. You might have seen these before. So here's what it looks like. Very nice packaging. That's what you're looking for in your music store or on the Sweetwater website if you're purchasing from my link. This is what it says on the back. Steel string guitar capo, satin black. Remember, if you're getting a capo for nylon string or 12 string, you might want something else. This is for 6-string acoustic. The G7th Nashville is the most intuitive cap about. What? The G7th, this is a quote on the back from Foy Vance. If you don't know Foy Vance is a fantastic singer-songwriter. But it says, the G7th Nashville is the most intuitive cap about. Shouldn't that be capo? It's both fluid and exact. I'll have to ask them about that. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, Foy Vance is so talented, he can say whatever he wants. Lightweight aluminium. Do we say aluminium or aluminum? I better say aluminum. I'm in America. Lighter trigger action. Reduces tuning problems. I've had no tuning problems with these so far, which is very impressive. Designed for acoustic guitar, electric guitar, songwriting, stage, and studio. All right. Designed in the UK, made in China. So this one is black. If you have a choice, I would not go for black. Black can be good because it's inconspicuous. But the problem is you're going to lose a black capo if you drop it on a big stage. Because the answer to that is to play on small stages like I do. Actually, what's a stage? Lee says he likes the Kaiser Chiefs. Oh, Kaiser Capo. So this is... Are you excited? I'm unboxing a capo live on air. I may be unboxing a guitar this weekend if you want me to. I have a Martin review coming up this weekend. Might go live with that on Saturday. I'll see. So let's see what I think. It's nice. I mean, obviously it's bigger. Now you might like that. It might be harder to lose it. It's very easy to squeeze. So you might like that. It's very easy just to grab it, squeeze it, and put it on the guitar. Now, like I said, to some people, one-handed operation is important. So if you're the kind of performer that when you're playing, you want to be able to do this and clamp it on the end. Like that. And then unclamp it and clamp it with one hand. Some fancy guitarists even unclamp and move the capo during the song, which is something I don't do, but I've seen people do it. So this has no adjustment. This just grabs the neck. So that's good and bad. It means there's no adjustment, but it means that it's going to grab it very tight. We shouldn't have any of those issues with buzzing and things like that. Let's do our test. So everyone has a different way of doing this. I like to put it on as close to the fret as I can, so it's almost basically touching it like that. That's how I do it. And by the way, I say capo, not capo. All right. See, really easy. So there was no adjustment to do, and I can do it with one hand. You might really like that. And it grabs it really tight, so you haven't got to worry about those buzzing notes ever. One more test I'd like to do is that lead playing test. You should always try this. If you bend a note, if you do that, really bend the note, on some capos that don't grip very tight, that string is going to stay up. Now, that string did stay up, unfortunately, but I really went for it. Let me see. That was okay that time. I may have been unreasonable the first time and really tried to bend it more than I would. I mean, you've got to think, you'd probably bend to this note, okay? it's okay. What I'm seeing here is there's a compromise with all these capos. None of these capos are perfect. You've got to choose the one that's right for you. Like I said, if you want to have something you can put on with one hand, 2 of these are applicable, and then the other 2 are not. So this one and the first one I showed you is applicable to using one hand. And if you want one that you haven't got to tighten and as tight as can be without tightening it yourself, this is the one to get. Did my light just go off behind me? I might have to change the bulb. Or that might be the AC. The power's dipping. So yeah, this is a very traditional. You know, a lot of people use these kinds of capos, don't they? A lot of people like this style of capo. I personally find it a bit big looking on the guitar. You know, I don't like to think I care about looks, but I do. And I think it looks a bit like, hey, I've got a capo on my guitar. Oh, by the way, they do offer engraving as well. So maybe I'll have them make me some sound hole sniffer capos so we can sell them on the show. Actually, that's a great idea. A limited edition. Yes. Limited edition sound hole sniffer G7th Capo, limited to 20 capos. Watch it. Watch this space. Subscribe and ring the bell. But I do know a lot of people like this style. I do know a lot of people like to move during a song. And if you're really fast, you can do that. You'll see people do it on YouTube all the time. And yes, it works. It doesn't have any buzzing, but you can't adjust it. The tightness is just how tight it is. So, which one is your favorite? And I'll tell you which one is my favorite. Look, that's this one here. It's very light, I'll say that. It's kind of big, but it's very light. So you'll probably like that. So that is the Nashville. I do like the name Nashville as well because I'm a big fan of Nashville. So we have the Nashville, we have the Ultralight, which was that plastic, very affordable version. We have the Newport, which is the one that's adjustable and thin, which is my favorite. I've been using that on my channel a lot on Sundays, as you'll see. And we had the ART Performance 3, which is the one I've just used for years and is a great one to use live on stage. Which one is my favorite? Well, as I said already, it's really a throw between these 2. The Performance 3 has never let me down. Very easy to use on stage. This Newport is thinner, a little bit lighter, easier to adjust for different guitars and techniques. If it was me, I would get these 2, and I'd keep them one mostly for studio, one mostly for stage, and then I've always got one as a backup. If you're new to guitar, I recommend the Newport, the plastic one, very affordable. And then as you develop, maybe look into getting one of these or 2 of these later on. And even if you end up with 3 of these, that is not a problem. You can never have enough. If you have 2 guitars, always keep a capo in the guitar case and in your gig bag. That way, whenever you go to a gig, you'll never be without a capo. It doesn't hurt to have several capos. Okay, especially if you get those the ultralight, the affordable ones. So tell me, which one do you think you would buy? And yeah, I am sticking with these 2. As you know from watching me on Sundays, thank you for watching me on Sundays, I appreciate it. You'll see me using these. I occasionally use other ones as well, but I've been using this one a lot lately, the Newport. And before I got this one, I was always using the Performance 3. Really great company, really great products. So tell me which is your favorite, and I shall play a song to finish. I'll do some fingerstyle for Roeth. The Newport is very similar to the Diodario Pro Plus. Like that style a lot. The Newport. This one. Oh, really? I didn't know they had one like that. Yeah, I like this style too. But as you just saw, the way the mechanism works and the way you adjust it, sometimes I have to take a few extra seconds to put it on. With the Performance 3, I always just clamp it on and go. And if you're playing on stage, I think that's kind of cool. Olds, no I won't. I'm going to play an original song. I'm trying to stay away from copyright claims on these Thursdays. By the way, I've got to say, I know a Martin with a cutaway is not a real Martin, but this Anthem pickup is sounding excellent in my opinion. Very good pickup system. Lee plays 7 Black Roses by John Martin. You have to move the capo lots and also tune up and down the high string. Oh, right. As you pick, really? Can you send me a recording of you playing that? I'd like to see that. I'll check it out. 7 Black Roses. Wow. Tuning and moving the capo during the song? I find it hard enough just to put the capo on for the start of the song. Old says, never try the clip-on. Does it ever interfere with your playing? Clip-on. You mean the Nashville? Yeah, it feels a bit clunky. I don't know if it's any more clunky than this is. But, you know, I do like the look of this. Doesn't that look really cool? It looks very sleek, doesn't it? Like I said, I'm not really that fussy about looks, but it is, you know, I do think it looks better than the other one. Great idea. What's a great idea? Oh, 12 string. Like I said, Charles, these are for 6 string steel string. If you're getting a capo for a 12 string or a nylon string guitar, do make sure it's compatible. If you click on the link I put down below to Sweetwater, it's all of the G7th capos. If you click that link and have a look on there, you'll see all the capos they make. And some of them are for 12 string, some are for nylon, some are for partial capoing. This is really just like your standard steel string capo that I'm talking about tonight. I might cover those other things in a future video, but this is just like the standard capo that I like to use. Well, you know, Olds, you say that, but I got kind of surprised today when they announced that Friends are getting back together after all these years. I was like, wow, some good news we're finally having, right? Things are starting to turn for the better. All right, I'll leave you with this song. If you're new here, please subscribe and ring the bell. If you've got any friends that are learning the guitar or into acoustic guitar or guitars, please send them a link to this video so they can check out these capos as well. And like I said, if you want to support the channel, the links I have in my videos are affiliate links. I get some commission at no cost to you. And I have Amazon, I have Sweetwater, who I really like, and I have Thomann now as well. Thomann if you're in Europe. And by the way, I actually bought something from Thomann a few weeks ago, and it got here the next day to America. So always check them as well. Thank you, Charles. This is called Pieces of a Puzzle. I shall perform this, and I shall say goodbye. I shall see you Sunday for my covers concert, Monday with Maury, and I might go live. I'll give you an exclusive. I might be getting a Martin in this weekend to review with a new pickup system to review. I might go live on Saturday to unbox it. I don't know. If not, I'll probably use it on Sunday, so don't miss that. Worn out ends and holes. I usually do this in G, but the original was in A, so I'll keep it in A. It's a new old Martin Olds. Worn out ends and holes in an old tin box, locked away for another rainy day with a Christmas tree and happy thoughts. So we lost our way with all these games we scoring board. I wanna win someday. Like pieces of a puzzle, you complete me. We're pieces of a puzzle, you and me. And though we're not together, no one else can fit me better. We're pieces of a puzzle, you and me. Pieces of a puzzle, you and me. Doesn't this pickup sound great? I forgot how good the anthem sounds. Really happy with this. We'll see if the new system this weekend sounds as good as this one. We can break the rules if you wanted to. There's a gamble in every move. I'd put it all on you. Like pieces of a puzzle, you complete me. Pieces of a puzzle, you and me. And though we're not together, no one else can fit me better. We're pieces of a puzzle, you and me. We're pieces of a puzzle, you and me. Pieces of a puzzle, you complete me. We're pieces of a puzzle, you and me. And though we're not together, no one else can fit me better. We're pieces of a puzzle, you and me. 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 That's right, Olds. I did. I played the song with Tommy at a Tommy Emmanuel workshop, and I thought I better do some fingerstyle because he plays fingerstyle, and it was one of the best moments of my life because he just sat and listened to me play it. He noodled at the end, and at the end of the night, he said, "Aaron." He said, Aussie. No, he said, "Aaron, great song, mate. Great song, mate." And I was like, yes, I have arrived. But yeah, I'm a big Tommy Emmanuel fan. You might know that. So anyway, if you like the songs I played tonight, they're off my album, 10 Songs About Truth, Lies, and Other Things. It's on Spotify and Apple Music. Check it out. Thanks for watching. I enjoyed tonight. I wanted to, tell you about my friends at G7th. I was a big fan of theirs before. They sent me these extra capos, and I think their stuff is great. And I know there's many capos on the market, but if you're looking for something, I highly recommend the ones I showed you tonight. And yeah, been great. I'll see you on Sunday for the concert, 4 o'clock, if not before. And have a great weekend, and take care and be well. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you want to see the video with Tommy, you can check it out on my channel right now. Just search for Aaron Short, Tommy Emmanuel, Pieces of a Puzzle. Thanks, everyone. Go try your capos out. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Meet me at the station at midnight. Wear your high heels, your red dress, and your smile. You look just like this other girl I knew. She was beautiful. And if you want to, maybe we can stay a little